Good day, I'm Dr. Douglas Street, and welcome to the second episode in the series Achieving Optimal Health. Today we're going to be focusing on diabetes, which is, as you know, a very common illness in all over the world, and the incidence is actually increasing worldwide. Now, one of the reasons why this is happening is because of our diet, and this is something which has been apparently getting worse over the years as we start to become more dependent on certain foods that we used to have so much of before. Now, diabetes is a condition where there are actually two different types of diabetes, two main types of diabetes, is type 1 and type 2. In type 1 diabetes, the body doesn't produce any insulin, and so the person is totally dependent on insulin from an external source. In type 2 diabetes, the insulin is being produced, but apparently it's not having the same impact as it should have on the body, in that it doesn't bring the sugar down as much as it should. And this can allow the sugar to stay at a dangerously high level, which can lead to short-term and long-term complications. Of course, you do have situations where you have a combination of those two situations, where you have no insulin being produced by the body, and also the body not responding adequately to the insulin. There are a number of factors that lead to the development of diabetes, and of course these include our diet, as mentioned before, and also our activity level, and the level of inflammation in the body has also been shown to contribute to the problem. So there are a number of things that we can do that can prevent diabetes from developing in our bodies. As you know, though, diabetes runs in families, so there are some persons who have a higher risk of developing diabetes than others, but it doesn't mean that since it's in the family that you inevitably get it. Now, as I mentioned before, diet is one of the misunderstood things about diabetes. There's a lot of misunderstanding about what it should and should not eat, and in fact, you find different persons have different ideas, and unfortunately, you don't get the proper advice that you should, and we undertake diets that are inappropriate for those that are diabetic. Now, the diet is more than just supplying glucose. Some of the factors that contribute to that the diet affects include the level of inflammation in the body. But first, we're going to be looking on how the foods that we eat affect the level of sugar in our blood. Now, again, as I said, there's a lot of misunderstanding about this. For example, there are some persons who think that when you're diabetic, you shouldn't have anything that is sweet. You have to make a distinction, however, between foods that are sweet and foods that are sweetened. There are some foods that are sweet that don't really rise the sugar up very much, and so there has to be that distinction between them. The foods that are naturally sweet, for example, such as fruits, sweet potato, and beet, even though they are sweet, they don't rise the sugar up very much, which is a misunderstanding that some persons have. The reason for that is that these foods contain substances that slow down the absorption of the sugar into your bloodstream, so it doesn't send sugar up as much and as quickly as you might think, and therefore they do not have a detrimental impact on your blood sugar. However, foods that are sweetened, such as foods that have sugar added to them, don't have these substances normally, so therefore they will allow the sugar to go high too quickly. It's very important to understand the concept of glycemic index in understanding what types of foods that they're supposed to have and ones that they're not supposed to be having. Glycemic index is essentially how quickly a particular food will send the sugar up in the bloodstream. When the glycemic index is high, of course, it will cause the sugar to go quickly, and when it is low, it doesn't send it up that quickly. They have used an arbitrary score of 100 that is given to glucose, and then other foods are measured in relation to how high glucose sends up your sugar. So it's very important that a diabetic understands this concept of glycemic index and utilize it in what to eat and what not to eat. Now the glycemic index is something that you can actually get information on online. You can actually go online and look up the glycemic index of different foods, so you can have a better understanding of how to eat, what foods to choose when you're diabetic. Now, I'm sure that you're going to be surprised at some of these numbers. We're going to be looking at some of the individual glycemic index for some commonly eaten foods here. Now, it's generally recommended that diabetics try to have foods that have a glycemic index of 70 or lower, have more of those foods. Now, if we look at some commonly eaten foods, for example, flour, the glycemic index of flour is actually, what white flour that is 73. And that of whole flour is actually about 71. Now, what might surprise you is that the glycemic index of cane sugar, which is what we use to sweeten our tea, is actually about 68. So what this is actually saying is that flour, whether it is whole wheat or white flour, actually raises up your blood sugar more than the sugar that you use to sweeten your tea. Other ones that are particularly high that we may not know about are dashi. Glycemic index is about 75. And for cassava, it's actually 94. So what this is saying is that the glycemic index of cassava and dashi are actually pretty high, and that should actually limit or avoid using these foods. Pumpkin is just as high. Pumpkin's glycemic index is 75 also. Now, not saying that we shouldn't have pumpkin, but certainly pumpkin should be had in small portions because it can send up the sugar than what we wanted. Irish potato is also about 71, which is one of the reasons why we recommend that diabetics have a limited amount of Irish potato. If you look at it in comparison to, for example, sweet potato, which is sweet, the glycemic index of sweet potato is actually 46, which is much lower than Irish potato, even though sweet potato is actually sweeter than Irish potato. Another surprising one would be mango. The glycemic index of mango is about 55, and that might surprise you because the glycemic index of oats is also 55. We might find that might sound strange, but even because mango is much sweeter than oats. Yam is also about 54, which is also a very good food to have because the glycemic index is pretty low. And we should have small portions of that as well. We should have it in moderation. Green banana is about 38, so it's actually saying that it is quite good to have as a diabetic. So this is just highlighting the fact that the glycemic index is something that you have to know, you have to understand when you're choosing your foods. Another one is ripe banana. The glycemic index for ripe banana is actually 51, which is lower than oats. So ripe banana is also another food that you can have as a diabetic. Now, it doesn't mean that you can have a whole lot of these foods. You should have in moderation, but you can have them safely without worrying that they're going to be sending up the sugar very high. A couple other things that you need to understand about it that as a diabetic is that we oftentimes encourage persons with diabetes to have artificial sweeteners. Now, artificial sweeteners, it doesn't send your sugar up, but the problem is that it can actually increase inflammation in your body by causing an imbalance of the bacteria in your intestines, which is what we call an intestinal microbiome. And it can cause you to become diabetic. So certainly, this is not something that a diabetic should be having because it can eventually cause worsening of the diabetes. It's also important to understand that there are some foods that will increase inflammation in the body which can worsen diabetes or even cause diabetes to develop. These foods include things like shellfish, which increase inflammation inside the body. Processed foods like sausage and frankfurters also do that. Dairy products also increase inflammation inside the body. And sugars does increase inflammation inside the body, but of course, it has other impact on the body as well. Fried foods also increase inflammation inside the body. So these foods, even though they may not have an immediate impact on your sugar, because it increases the inflammation in the body, can actually increase risk of diabetes in the long run. So as we mentioned before, diabetes is a it's a very common illness, and the diet is very important in preventing diabetes and also in the worsening of diabetes. So the three main points we want to understand is that the foods can increase your blood sugar, which those you should avoid, but also the foods that increase inflammation in the body should also limit and try to avoid, because even though they may not send sugar up, they can increase the inflammation, which can cause worsening of the diabetes. Thank you very much for listening. See you again soon.